ADP has been surgically accurate the past few years. But the skeleton key to 2023 fantasy football drafts is avoiding the players inside the top 60 who have never shown they have a ceiling to be there. There is no greater example of that than TJ Hockenson, who is being drafted as a tight end 3 despite being the same player with Minnesota that he was in Detroit. Everyone is extrapolating TJ Hawkinson's volume with Minnesota as if it made a difference. Hockenson actually averaged fewer fantasy points per game with the Vikings than he did with the Lions, and also 3 fewer yards per target. Not only that, but Hawkinson's one top 5 finish as a ceiling player with Minnesota matched his one top 5 finish with Detroit. Add Jordan Addison to this offense, and there's clearly no need to treat Hockenson as if he deserves to be a top 5 tight end, and yet everyone's doing it. Another player being drafted too high is Jaylen Waddle. Waddle's league high 18.1 yards per catch last year, as the team's definitive second option, is not expected to carry over. There have been 12 examples of a wide receiver averaging at least 18 yards per catch on 70 receptions in the Super Bowl era. And not once was that player able to replicate that efficiency the next year, averaging 4 fewer yards per catch and 22.3 fewer yards per game the following season. It's not efficiency we want to bet on. If Miami's offense weren't able to reach their ceiling, Jaylen Waddle would be the first to fall out. And remember, Tyreek Hill averaged a 32.5% target share to Jaylen Waddle's median 22% whenever the two played together with Tua Tagovailoa. Both the reasons to bet against Waddle as the team's number 2 receiver. For running backs, Travis Etienne is the clear example. Etienne played 12 games without James Robinson last year, and actually ranked 11th among all running backs in routes run. But he wasn't able to earn targets, seeing more than 3 targets and a double-digit target share in only one of those 12 starts. Now he's playing alongside JaMychal Hasty, who's been used as the team's third down back in the preseason, and Tank Bigsby, who was drafted on day 2 and averaged a 15.4% target share as a pass-catching, bigger back in the SEC with Auburn. If we can't guarantee Etienne is going to lead the backfield in targets or get short yardage work, there's really no need to draft him in that tier of running backs. In fact, fade that entire next tier. Aaron Jones has played 32 games the last 2 seasons, and in the 21 that he didn't score a touchdown, he finished no higher than RB 16 on the week. Meaning, even though he got the touches, it didn't matter unless he scored touchdowns. That's not the kind of player we go out of our way to draft in the 4th round. Breece Hall's ceiling is now capped by the addition of Dalvin Cook. Kenneth Walker is playing in a committee with a day 2 running back who has a better receiving pedigree. Dameon Pierce is now playing with a mobile and rookie quarterback on one of the league's worst offenses. Miles Sanders, not only dealing with a groin injury, but also playing with a rookie quarterback. And Alexander Madison did average 23 touches and 6 career starts for Dalvin Cook, but that came under a completely different coaching staff. If anything, Minnesota's backfield is ambiguous, which is why we should be taking shots later on. Basically, 2023 sets up to avoid that round 4 through 6 tier of running backs and instead pick off ceiling wide receivers in order to get an edge over your league mates. You can head to 4for4.com/plans to hear more fades and drafts. Use the promo code YouTube for 25% off. And remember, be a little bit kinder than what's required.